Good morning friends. Today I am going to discuss about concept of globalization, its impact of globalization for social justice concept under the globalization. So because of globalization, globalization is a process over a period of time, especially after 1993 onwards. Globalization is introduced. Globalization, privatization, and liberalization. The policies were liberalized, invite the investment from the foreign nationals, and privatized. The industries were privatized. Banks, industries, insurance companies were privatized for the uh, encouragement of investment from the private persons, as well as to invite the international communities for the investment. Globalization is enabling process to local product into global network is possible only by globalization. Through globalization, the local products, national products were uh, exported for selling and buying. So globalization giving a accessibility network for purchase, sale, use of international goods and services. Expansion of international trade, by which the international trade is expanding. So people can purchase according to their needs, purchase goods, services according to their needs, and the goods are international goods are available to any corner of the society. Through the globalization, goods, services are available to any corner of the society. So the globalization encouraging foreign investment. So foreigners or foreign nationals can invest directly in a society or in any country or including India. So the globalization is an enabling process to invest directly from the foreign nationals, any other organizations. So through globalization is encouraging formation of global network, global product network. So the global product network is possible through globalization. So some countries are able to product some type of goods, some type of services. So some countries are not able to product, but who are the countries who are not able to produce a motor car, they can purchase, they can use that motor car. So through globalization, the countries who are not able to produce, they can avail those services, products for usage of in particular country. Produce, they also sell out their local products, their indigenous products into global network. So it is a possible to give and take policy, to import and export policies, through which the global marketing network is developed. So optimize the cost and uh, efficiency. So this global market is optimizing, minimizing cost, prices of the product and services. It is also improving efficiency of the products and efficiency of the services. So who are not able to produce efficient, effective or quality goods and services, so they will not compete with the other communities, other countries who are producing efficient and quality products. So to international competition also evolved through the globalization. And also, so indigenous products has to be globalized or with the it has to be compete and also produce with efficient and quality products. Coming to the economic integration, so national, local economic systems into global economic systems. So one economic system will enter into global economic system. Expansion of international trade. So this one local goods, services entering into other economic systems. So obviously the international trade will increasing, and international expansion of international trade is taken into place from importing, exporting goods and services. Globalization not only increasing international trade, it is also increasing opportunities, educational opportunities, employment opportunities, and also political opportunities. Human being becomes global man. So by education, by employment, people are crossing the borders of the one country to another country. Obviously they become international, they become international man, they become an international personality. So by which people will become a global man, not a national man. Freedom from the economic, social and political activities happened by the globalization. Expansion of international trade, as I discussed, free trade, open market, international business is increased. Free trade is increased. Open markets are available for purchase of goods and services. So this, because of this international trade, international business, so the national laws were changed and barriers for the investment and purchasing to conduct business are wiped out, removed. The barriers or hurdles for conducting business, trade into the one national country to another national is removed. To business in India, they have to take the permission from the central government, they have to take the license, permits, etc., etc. So these barriers were removed or liberalized or relaxed for the investment or conduct business or trade business into the society, especially Indian society. We removed and we welcome foreign investment, foreign business in India. So accordingly, we also changed. Several new laws were introduced to attracting international business, international investment. Indian government also introduced new laws. We amended several labor laws, trade union laws, etc. in India to attract international community to investment in India. And also several new enactments, arbitration laws, Information Technology Act, so that several new laws were amended and passed for the attracting international investment. So that international trade laws, international business laws, cyber laws, etc., etc. are changed and enacted in the recent time. These are the developments happened for the globalization, for the results of globalization in India as well as an international community. Consumerism also one of the important concept under the globalization. So increasing availability of products, services. So one country not able to, as I discussed, one country is not able to produce some kind of goods, services. So that country can avail goods, services which are required as per their requirement from the international community. So the consumerism is also changed its indigenous practices into modern practices. The influence of global network. So the global brands also influenced by the national brands or indigenous brands. Global brands are uh, very much available, or because of global brands, local brands also uh, shut down, because local brands are not compete with the international brands. So new international brands are introduced, available for the utilization of those services, for the purchase of those goods and services. So the globalization introduced new type of brands, new type of products which are influenced with the local brands. It is also introduced a competition between the local products, local goods and services with the international goods and services. So local goods also modified their products, their designs, their quality, etc., to compete with the international brands, international goods and services. So it is not only competing with the world international marketing, international goods, the international marketing strategies or marketing ideas, marketing techniques also changed. So marketing, international marketing, also the strategies, marketing process are changed. So because of globalization. So these are the phenomenal things to compete with the international market, with the international goods and services. Influence of international brands into the local brands. It is also uh, impact, influence, created influence among the societies. For example, in India, so the culture practice of the local is influenced with the international culture practices. So those international cultural uh, activities are penetrated into the local practices. So cultural homogenization is a impact of the globalization. So global communities become similar identities, similar practices because of language, religion, beliefs, etc. So international religion, international practices forced to adopted by the local people or other national people within the given society. So multicultural homogeneity is become homogeneous cultural practices because of globalization. So interconnections are evolved, intermarriages are taken place, inter-religious practices also taken place because of globalization. So through which the nationals were lost their nationality, their practice, tradition, their identity for the influence of or interaction of global cultural values into the particular society. So they lost their language, their culture, religion, etc., because of dominance of foreign culture, foreign language, etc. So cultural hegemony is taken place. Cultural hegemony is a process for wiping out local cultures. So globalization is dominance of one state to another state, one country to another country, through the language, through the culture, through the religion, through the economic, financial dominance. So these are the issues eradicating local cultures, local values. So international dominance through the language, through the religion, through the financial support are the basic conditions for dominance over the one country to another country. Cultural hegemony is the a bad condition, or cultural hegemony is the uh, developing phenomena by the globalization. So they tied up with the power relationship. So cultural relationship, cultural dominance is tied up with the economic relationship. So dominance by the language, through the language, the cultural hegemony, that is dominance through the language. Language play a vital role for cultural evolution or cultural dominance. Not only cultural dominance, the law also taken place, legal dominance also taken place. One through the economic, financial, and also foreign investment. So legal dominance also taken place. One country try to impose their legal process, rules, regulations into other countries. So they may put conditions to change your local legislations, local laws. Unless you change, modified, amend, they may put condition that they will not going to investment within the country. So these type of legal dominance taken place through the globalization. So several Indian legislations were amended, enacted on par with the foreign legislations, foreign enactments, and by the international conventions for the satisfaction of to satisfy international community. Indian government enacted, amended several legislations to satisfy the needs of international community for the investment of foreign nationals into India. They enacted several legislations. Indian government enacted, amended several legislations to satisfy international community, by which the investment is taken place. So foreign investment is welcomed by the Indian government. So this is the globalization. The concept of the globalization is taken place after 1993. It is globalization, privatization, and liberalization. The policies were liberalized, privatization is improved or welcomed, and globalization, that is one industry can be established, several countries, that is multinational companies were welcomed through the globalization. Thank you for patiently listening, and please subscribe this channel. Thank you.